there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel and welcome to Kit Conspiracy. This is our fourth and final week of this go around. It is a series that MK and I do every April and November where we use the same kits each week and we try to make whatever we can out of those kits. So every week we switch kits, and we switched on Tuesdays this month. And this is the first layout that I am doing with this kit. That is a combination of Simple Stories, Good Day Sunshine, and 24/7. So we've got quite a few things from both collections, and I'm just kind of piecing it out here, trying to figure out what I want to do. I'm going to end up with a double pager, but I'm not really sure at this point where I'm going with it. So I decided to pull out my photos and kind of go from there and see what kind of fits best together. And you're going to see photos here from a blood drive on the left-hand side and a Sharks game, which is hockey, on the right-hand side. And if that doesn't make any sense, it's because they are two separate events. But if you donated blood, they gave you Sharks tickets. So that's how they all came together. And so my son's fiance and I both donated blood, and that gave us each 2 tickets to go to the game. Unfortunately, my husband, he was going to do it, but I don't remember why he didn't. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I can't remember at this point in time. Oh, I remember why, because he had been on antibiotics because he was sick. And my son actually was out of town, so he wasn't able to do it either, but they gave you 2 tickets, so we were both able to go to Sharks games with our significant other. So, but the tickets weren't seated next to each other. So that is what the photo on the far right bottom is. It's the kids with a couple of their friends, and then my husband and I were seated in the section next to them, which was fine. You know, we don't really want to infiltrate on their fun either anyway. It wasn't like it was something we were all trying to do to go together. We were just both doing it. So anyway, I took my inspiration from the actual papers. I didn't think I was ever going to use this cork paper, but I decided to challenge myself to use it. So I cut out the openings and printed my photos in 3x4s so that I could go ahead and put them behind these little Polaroid or film or photo looking places. I don't know why they're not all Polaroids, but yeah, I didn't design the paper, so I probably would have done all Polaroids. But anyway, that's what I'm doing there. In the 4th photo, it's my husband and my son's fiance waiting for me because I had, I've never actually donated blood before. I'm not a big fan of needles, but I decided to do it, and they actually talked me into doing a double red donation, which I guess is more, it's more in need, I guess. I don't know. Fewer people can donate that, so I decided to go ahead and do that, and it took a little bit longer, so that's why they're waiting for me. Anyway, I am trying to do my second page with some cork as well. First, I thought I was going to do it so that the cork just lines up across the bottom, and that's why I cut this strip off. And I was going to use the collage paper on the right-hand side. As you will see, I play around with that, but I end up flipping it over and using the cork side. I don't know. I can't say that this is my favorite layout of all times. I don't hate it. But there's a few things that at the end I'm not super thrilled about. First of all, cork is not my favorite look. I like the actual cork texture. If you were to, like, say, die cut something out of a piece of a sheet of cork, but having it printed on the paper is not really my favorite thing. But like I said, I was trying to stretch myself and trying to, try something different. And then the photos being kind of spread out that far apart on the top makes them feel very disjointed to me. And so I'm going to try and rectify that with some stickers that kind of make them so they're all together, touching each other by the stickers kind of creating a bridge across. But at the end of the day, it still feels a little bit disjointed to me. I think I'm going to leave it for now. I don't know that I'll ever go back and change it, but it's definitely not my favorite look. These papers, I think, are from 2013, so maybe that was more of a thing back then. I don't know. But it's, yeah, It's definitely not my favorite kind of a look. Yeah, maybe it would have been better if I had cut the entire little photo frames out, but then, you know, the ones that are not Polaroids just look like a white matting. So, yeah, I didn't want to do that either. I did, however, decide to bring in this floral paper. I did distress all of the edges of my papers, including the papers that I use to back my photos. And I'm just trying to figure out where 12 inches is on here with the cork at the top, so I can use the other portion of it on the other page. I do know that I want to have the floral paper go across both pages somehow. So I'm trying to save as much of it as I can so that I have a strip of it on the left and a strip of it on the right. And that all works out, and it works fine. I'm using my grid to align my papers, in case you're wondering how I'm doing that. The grid on my glass mat, it shows me where 12 by 12 is. I can just put my magnets down and then go ahead and line my papers up so that they are on the 12-inch mark. I thought I would trim out this paper because, yeah, I don't even remember why. I don't even remember why I was trimming that out. At this point, I thought I was still using the collage side, but it just didn't feel weighted right with the heavy cork look on the left. The depth of color in the cork makes that paper feel heavier than the one with all the white. And so I'm going to pull this apart and end up using the cork side of it instead. And it all works out fine, but it takes me a little bit to kind of figure out why I did not care for it. So this collection was not necessary. I don't want to say it was hard for me to use, because the other three layouts came out great. It's just this double pager, and I think part of it was, I'm trying to kind of force myself to use that cork to stretch myself, and to use some of the elements that are already printed on the papers rather than reinventing the wheel. So those are two things that were not working in my favor. The third thing that's not working in my favor is that I only have one sheet of each thing. So I'm definitely trying to stretch them across and make them feel like there is a whole sheet. And I do like how that works at the very bottom of the page, with that paper and cork strip going across. But I wasn't too thrilled with the collage paper. Well, maybe if the collage paper was also underneath those 4 photos on the top left, I would have liked it better. But yeah, that wasn't the case. So I'm going to cut out this large red label and have that coming in from the edge of my paper. I'm still kind of sitting here mulling over what I want to do to fix my background while I kind of move forward with other elements that I know I like. So that's my thought process as I'm doing this. I just kind of have to figure out where that red label is going to go. I have no idea at this point, but I have made the decision to go ahead and flip this paper over and have the cork show, but I have to remove some of the adhesive that's on the opposite side of it and all of that good stuff and make it all work for me. So that's what I'm going to work on fixing right now. And then I am going to go ahead and adhere my other papers right to the top of it so that the cork can be all the way to the right hand side. I did go back and distress the edge of my floral paper, just like the other paper on the left-hand side is all distressed where they overlap each other. And I'm liking how that's looking. It does feel more balanced now. And then I'm going to back my photos with this grid paper, this kind of brown grid paper, just to give it a little more pop. And I decided I was going to trim this photo down, but in trimming it down, I do need to go back and remat it because I print my photos with a white border around them. I like them that way. That's, I don't know. It's very rare to see me not have a mat behind my photos. And so all of my other photos have this mat or are underneath the little photo cutouts. So I had to go back and mat that with some white. You can't really tell that it's not printed that way. It doesn't bother me at all. And so now I'm going to go ahead and trim that or cut that photo out of the brown and give it a little bit of extra pop. And I'm going to distress all of those edges as well. These two are also matted right behind. I thought maybe I would leave the cork, but once I made the decision to switch to the cork background on the right hand side. I decided to cut these out because I don't need that cork around them. It was a 4x6 and I don't need any of that. So I'm just trimming it out. But that also means that there's kind of a strange cut at the top right hand corner of the Polaroid one. So I'm trying to think about what I'm going to do to correct that, because I don't like it trimmed off like that, but I don't want to have it all the way to the right hand side of my paper and going off the edge. So I know I'm going to have to do something, but in the meantime, while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to go ahead and back my other photos and go and do some edge distressing on all of them and kind of play around with this label and figure out where it's going to go. All good questions, right? I'm using my edge distresser from MK's shop, Some Assemblage Required. I'll put a link for that down below in case you're interested in it. And then I saw there's a red label on the back that hangs down. So I went looking for another one, because if there's one in this collection, I know there's got to be more. So I found this one, which is a better size for my left-hand page, so that I can have two repeating elements. Again, like my background papers, I'm going to have that red label be a repeating element, but I'm going to have one that's really large, which is going to be where my title rests, and then one that is small, which is going to be where my journaling goes. So I'm liking how that looks a lot better. Still trying to figure out what I'm going to put in that upper right-hand corner photo to kind of cover up the cutoff edge of the Polaroid, which is how it was printed on the paper. So I had no control over that. It was printed going off the edge of the paper. And in the meantime, I'm just going to keep working on other things while I'm thinking about it. Don't forget to go and check out what MK's got going on her channel using the same collections. I know she's got quite a bit of layouts for this one. I think she's got more, actually, maybe one more than I do. But go and check out her channel and see what she is doing over there as well, so that you can give her a little bit of love. And yeah, I'm just going to keep going, you guys. It's going to get there. The right-hand photos are definitely all at the Sharks game. I did print a picture of our tickets off of my phone, and my husband got me popcorn at the event, which, if you know anything about going to an arena or a sporting event, it's super expensive to get popcorn. And I was like, nope, don't get it. Don't get it. You can make me popcorn at home, because he frequently does that. And he knows I love popcorn, but he splurged and got me the popcorn anyway. So that was really sweet of him. And so that's me just enjoying my popcorn, because, you know, it smells so good when they're making it there, and nothing tastes the same as, like, well, nothing tastes the same as movie theater popcorn. But, you know, he makes the popcorn for me on the stove in a kettle, and it's amazing. So yeah, I always appreciate that. So I finally figured out how to cover up the corner here. I had this banner sticker and I cut it in half, thinking I would use half of it on the other layout, the other side, the other page, but I just doubled them up. And so it made it look like it was supposed to be there going off the edge. I really like how it came out. And then I'm pulling in some of these layered stickers and whatnot to kind of tie all of those 4 photos on the left-hand page together. In the meantime, I found another little embellishment piece that I'm going to put down by our photos, and that's going to be super cute. And then I am just looking for the layered stickers and figuring out where I'm going to put them, so I can kind of like have everything feel like it goes together. I think those clusters need to be bigger, because they're just, you know, one little sticker, which is not just a flat sticker. Those are all like the 3D stickers that have the layers of foam in between them, but they feel so flat when you're looking at an overhead view. I did go to the alphas, and my title is going to be Blood and Sharks. And so that is what I am currently creating here, using the alpha sheets that were from these 2 collections. And I think most of them are from Good Day Sunshine, but maybe the red ones are from 24/7. Anyway, pulling those out and getting those down, I am going to use the turquoise tile stickers for the A and D for and I think that's great, because that is actually, teal is the Sharks color, so those go really great with it. but I didn't want to use them for the word sharks because they're so small. So I thought I'd just bring in the word and in those colors. And then, of course, blood's got to be in red because, blood is red. But anyway, I'm happy with the title and how that came out. I think it looks really nice and goes well. I am going to do a little bit more embellishing over there just with this arrow and a little heart sticker. And then I did pop my little label piece up onto some foam over on the left. And that's going to give me a great place to do a little bit of journaling. And I am trying to cover up the end of the arrow because that was a cut apart sheet as well. And the arrow went into the 4x6 or whatever. I think it was a 4x6 it was on. And so I'm just covering it up with a word sticker. And I think it looks okay. I'm happy with that. And I am just about done. Yeah, I'm pretty much done. I probably should have left that red heart sticker there. I swapped it out for a yellow one. On camera, it's not as visible, but it is visible on the layout in person. But I do kind of like the way the red one looks better on camera. So who knows, maybe I'll go back and change it, or maybe I'll just be lazy and leave it. But that is my layout for today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed walking through my process. I don't know how much you're going to enjoy the layout, but at least hearing my thought process as I go through the ups and downs of trying to figure out, what I'm going to do to make it work for me. I don't hate it. Do I love it? It's okay. At this point, it's in my to be filed stuff, and that's where it's going to stay at this point. So thanks for watching. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the process, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.